So tonight we are revisiting debt collector violations. Yay! Okay, so first of all, you can go way back to 2018 to the summer and you can go and check out debt collector violations as well as creditor violations as well as bureau violations if you want the entire picture. However, tonight we are delving into just the debt collector violations. Now, the reason we're doing this is because I am seeing this more and more and more every day, and just going through YouTube comments and phone calls and questions and emails, these are the things that people are asking about and they're completely relevant, okay? So I do have a really long list of them, but I highlighted the ones that are the most important, that happen most of the time, and those are the ones that we're going to go over. So we actually have 9 of them, all right? So why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Let's just start with why we're doing this. So the reason that we're doing this is because when you know what to look for, you can use it as leverage to get your deletions. That's what this is all about, right? Removing the negative items from your credit report, because you have to remember, you have to exhaust all your remedies. You have to fight. These are called rounds for a reason. It is a fight. These things do not come off easily, and so if you don't know what to look for, number 1, you're going to be left in the dark, and number 2, you're going to be taken advantage of. Number 3, you might be sued when you didn't really need to be sued. You're not going to get your results, you're not going to get your scores, and you're probably not going to get the loans and the APRs and all that you really need, right? So that is the reason that these things are so important. All right, so let's look at number 1, and I did list them, except for the last one, I did list them in the order of importance, okay? So the first one that we're looking at is transferring or selling an account to another debt collector without reporting it as transferred or with a zero balance. So what does that mean? What that means is, yeah, the account can be transferred from one collector to another or sold or whatever, but only the account holder, only the account owner can report the account with a balance on your credit report. So otherwise, it is considered double jeopardy. Now that's a different topic for a different day, but that is what it's called when you, let's just for an example, have Capital One. Capital One says that you owe $1,000. They also, sell it or transfer or whatever, right, to Portfolio Recovery. Now you have 2 of them reporting the same account. Now that would be okay if Capital One put 0 in the balance and now Portfolio is reporting that balance of $1,000. They cannot both report $1,000. Now, if you have Capital One with a 0 balance and Portfolio with a 0 balance and a new collector such as Midland or ABC Collection Agency, now they're reporting that it's $1,000, you can also have that, but then Portfolio needs to fall off. If you have both collectors reporting that they both have the balance in the account, that is once again double jeopardy, and this is going to be an FCRA violation. All right, so now if you're thinking through your disputes and your even if you're having conversations with other people either online or in person, about credit and everything, you're going to notice that this is super widespread. Like, it's not just you, it's not just them, it's everywhere. I see this all the time. Okay, I've been doing this for a while. I see it all the time. All right, so the next one is reporting a new duplicate account after receiving notice of dispute on the old account. Now, where are you really going to see this? You're going to see this with medical. I see this all the time with medical. What they do is, because medical is pretty simple to remove, right? What they do is you'll have, medical collection 1, 2, 3 reporting, you dispute it, and then they'll remove it, and now they're going to put up a new account, but that new account is the same one as the old account, okay? So that is a violation. Now, you will see this happen all the time if you're a business, so I don't really have to explain that one to you. This is mostly for people that are, doing their own credit files, but that is definitely an FCRA violation. Some of these are FCRA, some of these are FDCPA, and some of these both fall under both FCRA and FDCPA violations. All right, so I'm going to tell you which one, or if it's both for each of these 9. Okay, so when you have, trying to give you an example scenario, let me give you a real life scenario. 3 years ago, or the beginning of last year, the beginning of 2 years ago, so January 2018, I had a client that had nothing but medical. He had like 26 medical accounts, and I was like, great, super simple, whatever, gonna get this done, wham bam, thank you ma'am, gonna be out the door, he'll be on his way, great. But what kept happening was that I would get like 10 deletions, and then they would go and they would post 4 new ones, and they would chop off part of the account number to make it look like it was a new one. They would report it $1 less, $1 more, $10 less, and it was always the same accounts, always the same accounts, always the same accounts. So we were like getting nowhere because these stupid companies would go and continue to report these accounts after I disputed them, and then those would fall off and these new ones would come on, and it was just like, what the heck is going on? So eventually, 6 months later, I got all of them taken off, and none, no new ones appeared and all of that. But I really had to exhaust all remedies, okay, before I actually went and made my complaints and took it, a step further. So it was a little bit longer process than I had initially thought it was going to be, but having this knowledge helped me, because in the beginning I wouldn't have known that that was a violation. However, after studying and writing down and making flashcards and memorizing all this material for my clients to get the results, I was like, oh, this is a violation. They cannot do that, and this is what they're doing, and I had the proof to back it up. Okay, so number 3, misrepresenting the date of status, or the DOLA, date last active, to re-age the account for any reason. But here are 3 examples. Attempting to modify the credit bureau's statute of limitations on reporting, which, as you know, is 7 to 10 years, right? Attempting to modify your state's statute of limitations for lawsuit, which is generally 4 to 8 years. However, it's as much as 15 years, and I think it might be Wisconsin. That's just off the top of my head. I could be wrong. Don't put hate comments or anything if I'm wrong about that. And I know that somebody is looking that up right now. Wisconsin. If you go and look up statute of limitations, and there's like a map for debt collection, you will see which states have which, like California is like 4 years, New York is 4 years, Nevada is like 4 years, and then there's like 10 years, and then there's like 7 years, and then there's 15 years. Okay. Attempting to increase your score damage, or to coerce you to pay by damaging your credit even more, right? So they'll go and make an account look newer, or they'll re-age it, or whatever, right? That's what we're talking about in this example. But it's to screw with you to make you pay. It's all about money. Everything is about money. This is the financial industry, okay? All they care about is one thing. They are a collection agency, okay? What that means is that they want their money, okay? And to get their money, they're going to do some outlandish stuff, and a lot of it is not legal. And unless you know that it is illegal, there's nothing that you're going to do about it, because all you're going to be doing is assuming, and that's why we're going over this stuff. All right, failing to report a disputed account as disputed, and I talk about this all the time. So just to let you know, the last ones were all FCRA violations. Now, what am I talking about when I talk about a notice of dispute? You hear me talk about it all the time. Notice of dispute, failure to proceed to section 623 and 806B of the FDCPA. What the heck is this chick talking about? Okay, what I'm talking about is when you dispute something, the bureaus have 30 days from the date that they received your letter to enter the required notice of dispute in the comment section pursuant to section 623 of the FCRA. And for the collection agency, it is 806B of the FDCPA. All right, very, very important. If they do not put that notice of dispute, guess what? guess what? This is part of the validation of debt series, okay? It's a violation. It is a violation. So, just as a side note, what do you think would be a way that you can leverage this violation? You can first dispute with the collection agency. First dispute with the collection agency because the bureaus are 10 times more likely to enter that notice of dispute onto your credit report than the collector. So if you first, assuming that it's outside the statute of limitations, then you're going to be sued and all that kind of great stuff. If you first dispute with the collector, not a debt buyer, but a collector, okay? If you need to know the difference between the two of them, please look it up. The collector is more than likely not going to put it on there. They also have the same amount of time to put it on there. And then on letter 3 of the validation of debt series, you are going to pay them with it. And guess what? You're probably going to get the deletion because, number one, they're not going to send you anything with your signature and all that kind of crap in the letter. And they're also not going to put the notice of dispute. Now, you can only get them for one of those violations, but most of the time, they are going to violate both. All right, so now, see, this only says that it's FCRA failing to report a disputed account as disputed to the credit bureaus, but like I said, for the bureaus, it's FCRA section 623. For the collectors, it is FDCPA 806B. All right, so on to the next one. We are right here. Verifying an account with the credit bureaus before your request for validation has been completed. Okay, so what does this even mean? Verifying an account with the credit bureaus prior to your request for validation being completed. This means that you go and send a letter over to debt collection ABC123. They say that it's verified, right, to the bureaus, but they didn't even like complete the value. I mean, you could use this to leverage like any deletion for any collection because you obviously know that number one, there is no investigation, and number two, it's all automated, and that number three, that investigation is going to be completed prior to them ever doing anything. So you could take this the way that you want to after you go and look it up in the FCRA to see how you can actually leverage this, but it's a violation. It's illegal. They can't do it. They do it all the time. 10 times out of 10, they're going to do it. I can't tell you whether I've actually disputed something with a collection agency or even through the bureaus to the collector where they did complete it and then said that it was verified. Like, that just doesn't happen. And I didn't even know that that was a violation. I just thought that was common sense. No, it's a violation. All right, so calling third parties such as your family, friends, or neighbors and disclosing that the call is an attempt to collect a debt. Now, there are exceptions to this, okay? So the exceptions include an attorney retained to represent the consumer for the debt, and the credit bureaus or the original creditor, or an attempt to gain information which is not already in their possession. That's the FDCPA. All right, these last two were very important. Okay, so suing you and or obtaining a default judgment in a county where you did not live at the time of the contract, or a location where you didn't live at the time of the lawsuit. FDCPA. Okay, let's go over that one more time. Suing you and or obtaining a default judgment, okay, in a county where you did not live at the time of the contract, or at a location where you didn't live at the time of the lawsuit. FDCPA. Okay. The last one, I have stars on this last one because people ask me all the time, where is this one? No, how can I use it? Okay, what does a collection mean? A collection means that you, allegedly, had an account for some sort of credit or money or whatever with whoever creditor 1, 2, 3, and that you didn't pay it, right? So it went late, right? because it went to collections. Okay, so it's a closed-ended account, which means you cannot have late payments, and I am saying this like this for a reason. You cannot have late payments on a closed-ended account because it's not like a revolving account where, you know, you have a credit card and you're late and they report the late and all that kind of stuff. No. This says reporting late payments on a collection, which is a closed-ended account, is a violation of the FCRA. Okay? A collection by default is late. A collection is a closed-ended account. You cannot have late payments on a collection. And yes, this also goes for debt buyers. Yes, this also goes for debt buyers. So how do you use this? Well, first of all, use the link down in the description of this video to sign up for Identity IQ. Okay, using my discounted affiliate link. It'll save you money. It's a better membership that they don't even advertise. Not open to the general public, all that kind of great stuff. It'll save you $8 a month. That's only $21.99 a month. Go and look at your collections. If you see late payments in the payment history, it's a violation. Okay, if you see a past due on the account, it's a violation. Okay, so there's all these different things that you can go and check for on your accounts, but if you don't know that it's a violation, then you're just going to be saying, oh, it's not supposed to be reported this way, you need to delete it. Oh, you know, I don't have a contract with you, you need to delete it. Dude, you're not going to have a contract with the collector, okay? I hear this all the time. Like, why would you have a contract with the collector? No. Your contract was with the original creditor, and when you signed up for credit with, you know, creditor 123, you agreed, number one, that you were going to pay, but number two, if you didn't, they had the right to send it, transfer it, sell it to whoever the heck they want to, which they could do anyways, but you still agreed to it, and that they were going to come after you, and that now your obligation would be to the collector, okay? So people are, I have this conversation all the time with people, like, oh, they get paid by insurance, and, you know, they get like a benefit from, you know, for on their taxes, and then obviously they're going to report it to the IRS, the original creditor, right? They're going to report it to the IRS. Depending, there's two different ways to report this, but depending on how large of a company they are, they're going to report it as income, and then they have to report it as not having received that income. So yes, they have to adjust their taxes to report that you didn't pay it, right? So that's what people think is a tax benefit. It's not a tax benefit. It's telling the IRS that you didn't pay, all right? How is that a tax benefit? They're not going to pay for your crap. They're not going to pay for your loan. They're not going to pay the taxes on top of the fact that you stole the money from them. I mean, how does that make any sense? They get hit twice? So no, they don't get a tax benefit. No, there's no such thing as, you know, getting paid by their insurance and all that kind of stuff. If they do, it's measly pennies in comparison to the amount that was actually owed to them. So you have to realize that there is no contract with the collection agency. You have to know these things to know how to use them to get your results, to get your deletions, to get your score high, to go get that loan, okay? But you have to use common sense, all right? And I'm not judging you. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not talking down to you, okay? Because if it were like that, I wouldn't be doing these videos. I do these videos so that you can go out and get your results. But I don't know where people get these things from. Like, I don't know if it's like stuff that they read or other YouTubers that provide this information, or, you know, someone on Facebook, or there was even, and I am going off on a tangent, but you guys know that I do that. There was even a post a couple of years ago, I think 2017, where it stated that you don't have to pay your collections, and that all you have to do is say that you don't have a contract with that creditor or collector or whatever, and then there were a bunch of agencies that then went and posted and quoted that and said, no, that is not correct. You do owe that money, and they're going to come after you in court. Because if it were like that, there would be no debt collection industry. If it were simple as that, there would be no debt collection industry. Just for you to say, I don't have a contract with you. Well, okay, so when you get sued, go ahead and try to use that. It's not going to do you any good. You're going to end up with a judgment, right? And any debt collection attorney is also going to provide this information to you. All right, so you have to do your research, but you have to be going to credible sources, because once again, I provide this information to you so that you can use it to go and get your results, right? Because we're looking at the big picture. We're looking at what happens down the road, and down the road, hopefully, it's you getting your house or your loan or your car or the better school for your children, or in, you know, a situation like this where we're on lockdown, people don't have jobs and all that kind of stuff, that, you know, if you can't pay the rent, or if your kids need food and you don't have money, or that you're waiting for unemployment, or whatever it is, you have something to fall back on. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's totally cool, but you have to have something to fall back on, right? I've been there. I worked full-time at 2 different jobs, sometimes 3 different jobs, while also going to school full-time, paying everything with cash. I had no credit because I had a 398 credit score. I mean, a lot of you guys know my story, but I've been there. I know what it's like. I know it sucks. And, you know, if you don't have the money, that's it. You don't have the money. You have to wait until, you know, your check comes, your food stamps come, your whatever, because guess what? I had food stamps, and $200 for one person? No, dude. No. And no. You get what I'm saying? I was working full time. I had a good job, and it didn't pay my rent. It didn't pay my car. My car got repossessed. I was, you guys don't even know half of it, okay? And then on top of that, all my surgery. So I've been there, all right? I've been there. I've been in this position. So I'm going to end my tangent now, and I'm going to wrap this video up because I have 3 more videos to record tonight. However, the entire point is that you have to know the stuff that you're talking about. You can't just put it in a letter or put it in a complaint or whatever and think that it's going to work just because it made sense in your head, or that you saw it on or, you know, you heard it or saw it somewhere, or that, you know, someone put it in their podcast, or that they wrote an ebook about it. No. Where is the law that backs it up, that says that that's legit? If you can't answer that question, then you're probably wrong. And even if you can answer that question, you have to know what that law means, okay? Because, you know, you guys sending out templates and all that kind of stuff is the same thing as, you know, like an attorney or, you know, a paralegal just sending out like a writ over and over and over again. Like, no, you have to use case law for the entire case to resolve your case, to make it work in your favor. You can't just use one, you know, whatever to over and over and over again to back up, you know, what you're trying to say. It doesn't work like that. So you have to know what the heck you're talking about, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. This is going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever, up to 7 to 10 years, unless you screw up again and continue to screw up, and you're not going to get to the end of the road. And my job as a factual disputer, and my job loving you guys, you know, you guys are there watching my videos, unless this is the first time you've ever watched me, or you only go halfway through my videos, whatever. You know, I love you guys. I would not be here if it weren't for you guys. You know, you guys are my family, you know what I mean? Like my YouTube family, you get what I'm saying? So I do this because I help people. I do this because, you know, I look forward to giving you information that gets you results, because guess what? The information I give you is good. I don't just put out videos that have like nothing to do with anything. So, I mean, you have to look into the things that you're putting into the letters, and you have to understand how the process works. And I do a video that I'm redoing about the process and how to understand it, which also goes into the Exposing the Truth series, okay? So like I said, I'm gonna end my ramble there, but as usual, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, spread the word. If you know someone that needs my help, share this video with them, okay? If your mom has a collection, share this video with her. Like, don't keep me all to yourself. You get what I'm saying? Don't hate, appreciate. All right, guys, that's it. If you need my help, Link is down in the description to jump on a call with me. I'll see if I can help you. If I can, I will. If I can't, I'll recommend something that I will hope that'll work for you. All right, I'm gonna get to my next 3 videos for you guys. All right, so have a great evening from me to you. Bye.